Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I know that some of us are tired, but I'm just counting on you to give me your precious time, and you're going to enjoy this session. So, as you can clearly see, we have a lot of data in front of you. Kindly read them. Behind this data, there are a lot of families. There are a lot of families all over the world who are crying because they lost their loved ones. Why? Because of unsafe conditions, unsafe act that could be preventable. So, as health and safety professionals, what does this mean to us? Some people might look at these numbers and feel that they are just numbers, but these are so many lives lost. So, as health and safety professionals, we are here to ensure a positive safety culture. Now, let's look at the safety culture. What do you understand by safety culture? Whenever you move from one area to another across the world, people have a certain set of beliefs. For example, we are in the Middle East, we are in the UAE. This is an Islamic area. So there are certain beliefs that we have to respect. If you move to the US, they have other beliefs. But what is the priority? The priority is to ensure that everyone goes to work safely and gets back to their loved ones safely. Let's look at these pictures. These photos were generated from AI. We have the first photo on the left and the second photo on the right. Trust me, wherever you go, this is applicable everywhere. We have two situations in which we let our loved ones leave their homes, they go to work, we are back home waiting for them to come back, but the situations at work are not favorable. So it's not a matter of me, as in Frank, it's not a matter of you, but it's a matter of us. If we have the same culture, if we think about safety positively, then we should promote the second photo rather than staying forward on this. Now, when we look at the workers in both photos, there is a high chance that everyone on photo A might not go back home safely. When we look at photo B, there are chances of accidents because in every workplace we can never eliminate risk. We can reduce it to as low as reasonable practicable, but we cannot eliminate risks. But the chances are very low as compared to the chances we have on photo A. So what are we trying to do here? We are trying to sensitize ourselves. We are trying to create awareness that this should not be what we are promoting. Rather, that is what we are promoting as health and safety professionals. Now, let's face the challenges we see globally. We are here in the Middle East. Some of us speak English. Some of us speak French. Some of us speak very different languages. But when we work together, we are not from the same country. We are from different parts of the world. So there are so many challenges that come in place. If you look around you here, we have people from India, we have people from Pakistan, but we are all here in a safe working environment. So what are we trying to promote? We are trying to identify the global challenges that we have and how can we stand together to resolve these challenges. Trust me, if we resolve the challenges that you see here, we are definitely going to have a very safe working condition and a very safe country and the globe as a whole. Now, when we talk about excellence, we have 5 key pillars that we look around. We talk about leadership. Some of us say we are managers. Are we leaders as those managers? Are we just managers? We have a team. Do you get up in the morning and tell your team, good morning, how was your night? Or do you just bring an issue that was flagged by the operations team and tell your team, I need you to work on this? So as leaders, we need to lead by example. We need to walk the walk and talk the talk. If we have a team, if we have an organization that has hired us and given us that trust, we have to earn the trust of the workforce and we have to also believe in them. So leadership is all about 2 ways. What you give is what you receive. So as leaders, we have to lead by example. Secondly, we should be accountable for everything we do. We should set clear rules and responsibilities. Working as a team, if something goes wrong, don't say, Frank did it. We did it. It was our collective error. Now, what is the gap? What can we do together to identify this gap, come up with a stringent action plan, and ensure that it shouldn't happen again? We should make sure that whatever we are doing, we can say, yes, this is what we are doing as a team. How can we achieve a very good output? Is by working together, collaborating with one another, and ensuring that safety stands as the main priority. Now, when we talk about communication, we talk about having open communication, honest dialogues. If you see a teammate doing something wrong, there are several ways in which you can give a positive feedback. Yes, someone is doing something wrong. Instead of you saying that you're not good at what you did, you can say, oh, thank you for how you did this, but you could do it more better by using this approach. There are two ways in which I have just used now, but if you're in my shoes and someone used a bad way to communicate with you, trust me, no matter how good your intentions are, you'll feel demoralized. So whenever we are communicating, we should always think about people. Don't say you treat people how you want to be treated, but you should learn to treat people how they want to be treated and have those open discussions, have those open communications, have an open mind to receive a feedback. A feedback is not there to make you look stupid. A feedback is not there to tell you, oh, you did bad, you cannot do better. But the feedback will help you, especially the negative feedbacks, to become more better at what you do. So whenever you keep an open mind, it's for your own good and for the good of the business. And lastly, we look at training. We look at measuring. Now, when we talk about training, like our colleague just spoke about, training is very important. Whenever we are training a team, we have to ensure that the materials that we are giving to them, the team actually assimilates this material. If we use very huge terms when we are training a team, they will not understand. So we should not train for the sake of training, but we should try as much as possible to put ourselves in our audience shoes. Just try to imagine, what do you think these people can understand? How do you think they love to be trained? And give them the right material the way they want. And trust me, you'll see the difference in their output. Now, measurement. We need to use data-driven decisions, whatever we are doing. For example, you cannot go to your management and say, I need a resource of 5,000 dirhams to buy PPE. But now the management needs to know, what is the business case? If I'm spending 5,000 dirhams, what is the return on investment? So you need to use data. For the past 3 months, we have had a lot of first aid cases. Why? Because there have been a lot of cuts, because workers are not having good PPE. However, if we can actually purchase this PPE for the workers, then there will be less number of leaves that workers will take, and the quality and productivity of their output is going to increase, which yields profits for the business. So without data, it's going to really make your team look very weak, and your management will not see value in what you say. So data is very important. Please take this into consideration. Now, safety is not all about compliance. Yes, as safety professionals, yes, as workers, we do work to earn our salaries. But now put yourself in a shoe where maybe your colleague comes to work today and is exposed to a hazard that you identified, but you didn't take that chance to rectify the hazard or call the concerned stakeholder to actually eliminate this hazard. But you're like, oh, I'm quite busy, I don't think about that. You go away. What happens? Maybe you come back later and hear that your colleague has been injured, is lying helplessly in the hospital. How will you feel? No one around you will know what actually happened, but you, as a human, you actually feel bad because you could prevent that situation, but you didn't take the actions to do that. So it's very important that we think about safety. We take that ownership of safety. We take that accountability and know that whatever actions we are putting out there has an equal and opposite reaction, not only to ourselves, not only to our colleagues, but to the business as a whole. If you look at the generation of today, technology is evolving. A lot of things are changing. And the traditional safety approach we used to use before has actually changed. We had our colleagues talking about VR, in which it actually helps us a lot. With AI, it has come to simplify our work. So, as health and safety professionals, we should try as much as possible to incorporate technology in whatever we do. For example, if you have a new role, maybe you move from a logistics company into a construction company and you have to prepare a risk assessment. You don't know where to start. You have ChatGPT, you have Copilot. You can use them and tell them, okay, give me a sample risk assessment, maybe for a confined space in the construction field. It's going to give you an idea. And based on what you have, you can build on. But if we never had technology, if you don't have a good application to actually report incidents that happen, you will see that if you're working in Dubai and you have a branch in Abu Dhabi, something happens there. Without technology, you might know after 2 days or 3 days. And without taking effective and immediate actions, what happened? You might not identify the root cause of the problem. And these problems will keep happening every blessed day. And it's going to cause costs for the company. It's going to cause workers to be demoralized. And at the same time, it can affect the reputation of the business. So it's very important for us to always think about data. It's very important for us to incorporate technology into whatever we do. It's very important for us to think about people, not about our salaries, not about the jobs, but to understand that safety is part of everything we do and we should be driven by it from your heart to your job. Now, when we talk about regional excellence, we are looking at the global standard. What are we looking at? These are various objectives that countries around the world are putting in place. For example, in the UAE, we have the Vision 2031 for occupational safety initiatives. A lot of initiatives are coming up. If you go to Dubai South for warehouses there, you have fire drill campaigns, and a lot of companies have a lot of rewards that have been issued to them because of the good practices that they are putting in place. If you go to Singapore, you go to Netherlands, just to name a few, there are a lot of these practices around the world. But now ask yourself a question. Why do you think we have all of these initiatives? These initiatives are to drive a positive safety culture. These initiatives are to reduce the number of fatalities we have on a daily basis. When you drive to work, you hear about accidents happening on maybe Sheikh Zayed Road. You hear about kids losing their lives because of 1 or 2 mistakes. How can we prevent that from happening? This is the roadmap to preventing it. And there are so many much more in the future in other countries that if we adhere to them, we are going to reduce the rate of fatalities, incidents across the globe. Now, when we talk about setting global standards, we have management systems in place. For example, the ISO 45001 2018 version. This is actually a good management system in which most credible organizations do have. And if actually you follow all the clauses, you'll definitely see that your business is going to run smoothly, and the rate at which you have maybe non-conformities, no accidents or injuries is going to reduce. We also have guidelines that we come up with internally or external guidelines that we can benchmark from other organizations across the globe. Why are these guidelines important? They are important because it actually helps us to have a roadmap. How can we prevent incidents from happening? Maybe my organization does not know what to do, but I see something online on LinkedIn which is quite similar to what we do. I implement it in my organization, and it actually helps us to become much better. So all of this you see here is very important for us to emulate. So when we look at the business case, how can you pitch safety to a tough management? How can you pitch safety to your organization? We have up to 4-to-1 ROI, which means that if you invest, for example, $1, you should be able to convince your management that they are going to gain $4 in return in terms of reduction in turnovers, worker turnover, in terms of reduction in the accident or incident rate, in terms of achieving zero accidents or incidents. So this is what we have. We also talk about reduced insurance premiums. For example, if there are a lot of accidents in your business, what happens? It affects the reputation of the business. The insurance of the business is going to increase, in which each and every one of us know. But if we put a very stringent management system in place to control the risks we have, to control the hazards that have been identified, guess what? Your business is going to run smoothly. The rate at which accidents will happen, they will definitely reduce or be totally eliminated. And what happens? Workers will be morally happy, they'll be satisfied, and the quality and productivity of their services will increase drastically. Now, whenever you sit here as a worker, as an employee, as a CEO, you have a business running, and workers get up in the morning, maybe by the end of the year when you're celebrating your Christmas party, and the worker tells you, "Thank you so much. I really feel safe in this organization, irrespective of all the challenges that we might have. I've been here for the past 12 months, and I feel that this is the right place for me because I have everything I need to do my job safely." How will you feel about that? But if you hire maybe 30 workers at the beginning of the year, and at the end of the year, you have just 5 employees left, then you should ask yourself a question. What is actually going on wrong? What can we do to get better? So whatever we are saying here, whatever we are pitching to our organization, safety is a priority. No matter what we do, we should always take it by heart. We should study about it. It's going to help us in every way of life. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, safety is always part and parcel of it. If you need to eat your food, it's very hot. You need to wait for the food to get cold before you eat. If you want to cross the road, you need to wait for the signal to turn green before you cross. So wherever you go, safety is always there. Now, we have seen the barriers we have at the global level. How can we overcome this barrier? That's the questions that we can ask ourselves. The first thing we talk about is engage leadership with compiling data. So many businesses, so many CEOs or managing directors will tell you, "I don't have time for a safety walk. I don't have time to attend a safety moment." But ask yourself a question. Who are the pillars of every business? The workers are the pillars of every business. If you don't have time to appreciate them, if you don't have time to actually congratulate them and thank them for whatever they are doing, how do you expect your business to grow? So we should always keep that at the back of our mind. No matter how busy we are, we should know that our workers are the pillars, and whatever makes them happy, it's definitely going to drive the success of the business. So as leaders, as owners, as managers, please prioritize leadership. The second point is about we plot programs that demonstrate value. We have KPIs. We have campaigns. How many of us run campaigns? How many of us actually ask the workers if they are happy about what they do on a daily basis? How many of us ask them about the challenges they are facing? And what are the actions that you have put in place to prevent this from happening? So we should always ask ourselves these questions. Have frequent meetings with the workforce, analyze the data, analyze the reports that they are bringing to you, because no matter how competent we are, no matter how good we are, they are the ones who face the issues on the floor. They are the ones who face the highest risk. So if we listen to them, it will help the business grow in a better way in terms of safety, in terms of productivity, and in terms of our reputation as well. Now, when we talk about customizing solution to a local context, you can have a global business, for example, Amazon. You can be around the world. But whenever you're talking about a solution that is being implemented in the UAE might not work in the US because of external and internal factors. So whenever you're coming up with a solution, think about the local context. Does this actually fit into what I want? Or is there something else that I can do? Yes, you can benchmark from a solution that works in one area, but whatever you're doing, don't think it's going to work globally. Look at the external and internal factors around where you are What can you do? And try as much as possible to come up with a tailored, specific, and concise solution. Now, you have to celebrate little wins. Even on weekly basis, if you had 0 first aid cases, please celebrate these first aid cases. If you have workers that were not wearing gloves, but you later on heard that they are wearing their gloves, please celebrate them, because the little things we do actually matters. We might see them and feel that it's not important, but trust me, if you as a leader stand in front of a worker and tell the worker, very well done, I appreciate what you do, just a certificate of recognition. It could be an ordinary paper for you, but some of these workers might sleep with them under their pillows at home. So please, whatever you're doing, trying to come up with local initiatives, try to come up with campaigns that will motivate workers, that will engage workers, and it's going to make them feel that they belong, feel that their voices are being heard, and their management or the organization actually thinks about them. So when we look at the pathway forward, we ask ourselves, now, after listening to everything that we have done, what do you think we can do as the world? What do you think we can do as a globe to make things better for ourselves? We are also thinking about establishing safety councils globally. And what is the essence of establishing the safety councils? To come up with good initiatives, to come up with good actions that is going to help businesses reduce the number of accidents that we do have and actually foster a very safe and healthy world of work. Now we talk about creating open source of safety resources. Now, what do we think about safety resources? Is it limited only to our PPEs? No. There are so many resources based on the way that each and every organization wants to categorize them. But try to make sure that whatever is necessary for your organization, whatever is necessary for your team, please put that into perspective. Put that in place. Help your workers. Support them. Promote safety. Talk to them about it. Talk to them about the importance of coming to work safely and of going home safely. How their families are waiting for them back home and how their kids will look like if their parents don't come home. It's very important. Now we talk about fostering public or private partnership. What do we talk about? We are all here seated here, listening to various speakers, gaining knowledge. This is public. Whenever we go to our private organizations, whatever we are learning from here, we have to incorporate them into our various businesses. So please, wherever you go, whatever knowledge you can get them, put them in your business, and try to see that you can actually see some changes. We talk about building a global community of practice. When we talk about a global community of practice, everything boils down to a culture. As we have rightly seen, we have both the positive culture and the negative culture. So it's our take to live from here and decide, what do we want as a globe? What do we want as leaders? What do we want for our business? Do we want a positive safety culture? If we do want a positive safety culture, what are we doing about it? If we do want a negative safety culture, that is fair enough. It means we should fold our hands and sleep. But when you sleep, what happens to you? You end up losing your job. You end up losing money. A lot of families will get hurt. And what happens to the business? The reputation of the business goes to the shams. So please, safety is a priority. And whatever we are doing, we should look at it. We should take it seriously, and we should make it every part of our daily activities. So your role as a leader, we ask ourselves these questions before we go. What are our roles as a leader? Leadership can be categorized in so many ways. I'm the boss. I need a lot of respect. No one should talk to me. You should go to my secretary. There are times in which a worker needs your help. And if he stops you, you're like, no, go through the secretary. But you don't know the challenges that that worker is going through. But maybe your voice just saying, how can I help you, actually solves their problem. So as leaders, we should be present. As leaders, we should lead by example. We should create a flat organization in which workers will feel that they can come to us at any time. We should end the trust of the workers. We should take accountability. We should take that ownership so that we can drive the business towards the positive direction. Call for action. What are we here to do? And how can we stand as a team? Not as a team that we are working in the same company, but as the world itself. Because when we leave from here, we go into various countries, we go to various businesses. But the first thing is that let's commit today to building a world where everyone returns home safely, in which that's the main point. We should join the global safety culture initiatives. So whatever you see, be it on LinkedIn, be it on your social media, be it on maybe in various companies, please try to get those best practice, emulate them, and ensure that progress is being made. You share your success stories, and you have to also mentor emerging safety leaders. Because when you have this knowledge, this wealth of knowledge with you, it's good to pass it down to the next generation. Thank you very much.